Gwang was the fourth king of Ryeo, and he was the fourth son of Gwang. He was born in 925, and he died in 975. He was on the throne between 949 and 975. He is judged as the king who had the ambivalence because, on the one hand, he was the king who established the foundation for 500-year history of Ryeo, and, on the other hand, he was the ruler of blood, who purged local families and royal families cruelly and brutally. However, it is undoubtedly true that he was one of the kings with absolute authority in Korean history. When he was alive, his name was Wang So, and his mother was Shinmyeong Soon Sung Wang who was the third wife of Gwang. Her father was Yu King Dal, and he was the influential local family in Cheongju. In fact, Wang Gun had 29 wives, and he had 25 children from his wives. His first son was Wang Mu, and he was the second king of Ryeo, Jong. After Gwang passed away, the first son, Wang Mu was crowned the king in 943, and the person who supported him the most was Park Sul-hee. Park Sul-hee significantly contributed to founding Ryeo, and he was the loyal subject of Gwang. Just before the death of Gwang, he was appointed to Gunguk Daesa, and Wang Mu was able to ascend to the throne with the help from Park Sul-hee. Nevertheless, his mother's side did not have the strong power, so Jong was entangled in a bloody struggle around the succession to the throne. As soon as Jong died, Wang Yo sat on the throne in 945, and he was Jong. As his mother's side had influential power, he could be supported by many local families. Nevertheless, 5 years later, Jong got sick and died, so before he died, instead of handing over the throne to his young son, Kyungchun Won-gun, he chose to hand over the throne to his younger brother, Wang So. Hence, in 949, Wang So rose to the throne at the age of 25, and he was the fourth king of Ryeo, Gwang. When he was crowned, he announced the independent era name, and that era name was Gwang-duk, and it was to present the sovereignty of Ryeo. For the first 7 years of his reign, he made an effort to not only make himself prepared politically, just letting the local families have ascendancy, but also encourage Buddhism and stabilize the life of the people, to have the support of the public. Nonetheless, he was conceiving plans to strengthen his royal power, and the first action taken was No Byeongumbub, and it was the law to emancipate slaves, who had become enslaved unfairly. In those days, the local families owned many slaves, and many of them became slaves unjustly while Husamguk was being unified, or they became enslaved coercively by the local families. As slaves were the financial and military foundations of the local families, liberating slaves was to weaken financial and military foundation of them. With slaves emancipated, the local families neither levied tax from slaves nor used them as private soldiers. They were strongly opposed to No Byeongumbub, but Jong adamantly kept carrying out this policy.
안녕하십니까, 잉코스토리입니다. 구독과 좋아요 부탁드리고요. 구독하시면 더 많은 잉코스토리 영상들을 보실 수 있습니다. 감사합니다. 안녕하십니까, 잉코스토리입니다. 구독과 좋아요 부탁드리고요. 구독하시면 더 많은 잉코스토리 영상들을 보실 수 있습니다. 감사합니다.